Hi everybody, welcome back to 30 Days Until Done. We are working on our travel month, March, and we're working on trips, and we're working on seeing the world differently. That's today's prompt, is how do you see the world differently? And that includes how do you see yourself differently. Um, I think back to that trip that I've been talking about all month, where Mark and I went into the High Sierra Trail, which is an incredible trail. If you have 5-6 days, a vacation is just the most amazing trip you'll ever take. It's spectacular, and you end up on the top of Mount Whitney. If you start you start in the giant trees and you end up at the top of Mount Whitney, and then there's a little bit more of cliff actually hiking. If you have vertigo as I do, and you're afraid of heights as I am, that part is fairly difficult. But the rest of the trip was just amazing. It was incredible. And okay, so I'm a person who's always been afraid of heights, and I was hiking along just on this wide on a 3,000 foot cliff, right? And so I grew. I saw myself differently. I was 15 years old. I was out there for the first time, away from my parents for that kind of length and distance, and I grew. I saw myself differently. And I think about when I went to University of London study abroad program, and I came back a different person in a lot of ways because I saw myself completely differently. I saw myself as someone who could accomplish something if I put my mind to it, right? Which is not something I'd seen myself as before, and it was reflected very much in my grades. I went from being a CB college student to a straight A college student, and by the time I graduated, I was graduated with honors, and it just changed my self-perception because of the sorts of things that I did there, and the kinds of conversations, and the places I went, and the sort of self-confidence I had. And that happens very often on a trip. Very rarely will go the other way. It almost always goes towards in the direction of confidence and strength and all that stuff, all that stuff that you need to grow as a human being, which is ultimately one of the great things about a trip. Also, they're fun. Right. Okay. So, how did you grow? What did you do? How did you see the world differently? How did you see yourself differently? And what caused this? Okay. So, when you're done, you're going to post that down below. And I know I haven't been commenting for a while now. It's been crazy. We have a couple of things coming up. We're going to have the Sequoia trip coming up. We have the Writers Weekend coming up. We're also going to have a Mojave Desert Poetry Party coming up, it looks like, in May. And so I'll keep you updated on that. And I hope that you can all come to that. All right. When you're done, post down below, and I'll see you tomorrow on 30 Days Until Done.